All right. Oh, you got the whole game. All right, nice. What rank are you right now, by the way? I'm a desk. That's all right.
I peaked silver 3. I'm bronze 3 right now.
Okay, gotcha. All right, cool. Flash. Oh, so far, yeah, you're using your abilities well. That's good. At least so far, you are. This was good to pull yourselves in a garage. Um, it might not have been fully necessary, but at least you're doing it because some people would have just straight up walked in, which could have got them killed from mid. And this is also good to be safe. Yeah, at least it looks like you're using your abilities at least relatively good for now. Obviously, it's round one. Okay. So first things first. Whenever you're in, well, I guess I can talk about your crosshair placement. You're not aiming at a head level. I'm sure you've heard about crosshair placement, right? Have you?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's my number one focus right now.
Say again.
It's my number one focus.
Okay, perfect. That's good. That should be. So yeah, that's your cross put seems to be a little off, but that's okay. That's a process that we'll talk about. We'll talk about angle holding and stuff. But I guess we can talk about it now. So you know he's coming garage. You're holding this angle. Actually, you're just moving around. Actually, okay, this is an example. That's fine. So yeah. Your cross put is a little off. You need to make sure you always keep it head level. And in a post plant situation, let's just say you're Brimstone, right? What do you do as Brimstone to win this round? What do you do?
Um, you don't know where I am, so just check every angle.
Uh, okay.
And
Trying to think of how to
usually
word
they start with
this.
left. That's why.
Say again.
Usually they start with left. That's why I was here.
Um. So okay, that's not the. I'm trying to think of how to word this though. That's not. I'm not. I'm not asking you right. That's bad. Let me think. Um. Okay, so what is the safest way for Brimson to take this fight? Is he gonna, to win this round? Is he gonna fight you guys 2v1 or 1v1? What's better for him?
Well, 1v1
Right.
because
So, whenever you see him, you know he's garage. Let me see. I think you know. I hope you know. So at this point, you know. Do you just not know at all?
I think I realized late, honestly.
No, it might not have been you. Okay, yeah. So you saw him here. Um, you need to make sure you pay attention to your minimap and also here. I don't know if you heard. I don't know if you get a call out. That's fine. And so once you know he's garage, play with your sage here or tell your sage like, yeah, don't peek. He's coming. He's garage, right? And because of this, he's able to get into a 1v1 with your sage. Now, this is a bad peek on her. But this is what I always preach to everybody that I coach is you can see exactly what your teammate's holding. And right here, you see exactly how she's watching garage. Like you see these lines or whatever. You can see that she's literally looking directly at him. Plus, when they pop up on the map like this, that means that they're in sight from a teammate. And so, yes, this is very bad by Sage, but if you know he's garage, you can hold this back sight corner with her. I can't actually pause it properly. Like just get on the back set, like at the back of this not this box, but sorry, I'll go back again. Explain it better. Like right here, right where you just were standing. This the back side of this box, and you could just peek with her because at the end of the day, neither of you should like she should not peek this brimstone. She should hide backside or something, especially if she knows he's garage. But if you know that these players aren't going to know any better, which she's not, you could peek with her, and that would have put you guys right here. And like you said, you didn't know where he was, and that's okay. You just missed him on the minimap. That's just gonna come with time, like looking at your minimap a lot, checking map awareness, that sort of a thing. So it's okay. But you see where I'm going with this, though, right?
Yeah,
Um,
I do.
Because yeah, that's how he wants to win the round is take 1v1 fights. And you can prevent that by even if your teammates are bad and they don't know any better, they just want to peek him, you can go ahead and peek with them and make it a 2v1 and make it harder for him. So yeah. And then yeah, here, like I said, I could tell you probably got a little scared, so that's why you backed up some. But your crosshair was also a little off. And you know he has to defuse the bomb. So play time. Don't take this fight. Because if you don't take this fight, you just kind of hide around this corner. He has to come to you, or he can get on bomb and then you go from there. Now, obviously, this is actually a good molly by him. He probably wasn't thinking about why, because you hiding behind this part of the box would actually be better, because you can easily tap the bomb on him. But yeah, taking the fight here was also kind of bad because he has to come to you essentially. But yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Hopefully we'll see more of that so I can give you a more example. Because like you said, you didn't know where he was. You just missed him on the map. So it's a little hard to actually say. Okay, well now they know you're all here. Let's see what happens. Yeah, this is kind of a similar example. Not actually, but like you'll see what I mean. Let me stop. Um so let's say you don't know what happens to surround. Where can you get peeked from? Where can the enemy peek you from?
Backup box, literally on box.
Okay.
Uh,
Perfect.
I don't think anyone actually cleared left side
Yeah.
because it's sloppy.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. And but what are your teammates watching? Garage?
Garage and
And then what do
back.
you peek? Garage. And then where do you get shot from? Backside. So this is back to the example of pay attention to what your teammates are watching, and then you can adjust that. Because you have two players looking garage, there's no need for you to watch it. You can just hold backside or clear right there or something. You can clear something else. And if that happened, you either would have killed this guy, or you would have probably maybe not taken as much damage. You know. So always whenever you're entering site, now obviously they killed him, which is good. Just watch what your team is doing. So you can be safe because if that Sova was a good player, you would have died here. Now this is also an eco, so it's a little different of a round. So don't get me wrong, but these are habits you can build over time that will prevent you from, you know, yeah. Like I said, if he was a good player, you'd be dead here, but still, um, yeah, same thing, same concept. Just pay attention to what your teammates are looking at. A little scary there, but it's all good. Oh, I guess I sprayed through the wall. You didn't know. Oh, you can eat that from long. Okay, yeah. Yeah, this is just a bad post plant spot. This is just where you got to think about all the angles you could die from. Like, where can they come from? And you just got to identify CT, garage, and long. And it's like, is my long covered? And like I said, that's when you can look at your map, see what your teammates are watching, and you'll see that neither of them are watching long, but two of them are actually watching towards the garage and CT. So that's when you can pick up long. Um, because at the end of the day, like I said, your teammates aren't going to do anything properly, or at least more than likely they aren't. They aren't going to hold angles properly and stuff. But because of the way, like I said, the game works and you can see what they're watching directly, you could just pick up off that. And if you would have looked at your map and you can maybe have identified that, you might have turned around and be like, oh wait, he could come long, and then you might have grabbed it. Now, obviously, Cypher had a camera, and he's kind of trolling, not peeking it, but still, you see my point.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, this is stuff like I said in gun rounds. It'll make more sense because you had a pistol versus other like better guns, so um, it might not even matter what you held. Actually, curious. All right. Anyways, yeah. Hopefully that makes sense. Thing post plant. I want to watch more entry stuff that you.
I think I ended up giving up like after this point though,
Wait, what do you mean?
because I have this habit of just getting really frustrated with my team if they're not like if we're rushing too much or something. I just end up lurking or something.
Yeah. So like I said, at the end of the day, your teammates they're not gonna know better and you're also in the CLO, so I don't mean this in a mean way, but you also don't necessarily know better either.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I get it.
so that being said, that's why I always am telling people you can play around your teammates even if they're making the wrong calls. So yes, that round should Cypher have been watching CT there? No, he should have probably watched long because Garage was walled off. But you could like play around that, and you can realize, like you could pick up, like I was saying, wait a minute, this guy is not doing what he's doing. I'll just pick up the slack. Now, obviously, there's only so much you can do. Don't get me wrong, but in that specific round, you could have done that, and you probably could have saved your life there. And like I said, hopefully this will show more. And also, if you do want to play a more lurky role, Phoenix is not the play, just for the record. So he's the guy for rushing the sites. So all right, let's see. But anyways, hopefully that makes sense. I think you could have saved. Actually, okay. Well, since they ulted, it's pretty good. Good wall. Oh, rip. That was unlucky. Okay, there's a few bunch of things that happened here. I hate when YouTube does this. Every time I coach people, it does this. Okay. So you have 4 people in sight, and you have pretty much all angles covered right now. Obviously not long at this very second, but he's gonna pick it up in a sec. So I would have actually saved this because there's nothing that's really threatening to you at this very second. Obviously, you're scared of Garage, but you can either flash into it to buy some time, then pick up the angle, or you can just hold it. Because they're not gonna kill your team if they're all over here, because the first thing they're gonna look at and see is you. And so you can just take that fight. Now, obviously, I don't know. It wasn't bad per se because it did buy you a little time, especially because they ulted, made it a little bit better. But I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like, yeah, especially since you walled after. I don't know. It's weird to say because it doesn't last very long, anyways. I just think this could have been used better, essentially. Um. So yeah, and then also, I'm assuming you heard him spraying through this. Yeah. Just be careful spraying your whole clip whenever you know people are, or whenever you hear other people shooting, because that's just gonna make it really scary for you. Because you could have got blasted there.
I see.
Yeah. Kind of a
Was
similar.
this my fault, like getting blasted by brimstone?
E-
Because I should have died there, but I got lucky. But
yeah.
I was watching long.
Yes, this was. Sage looked as he peaked, so she couldn't have called out in time.
Oh, I see.
And so the thing is, here's what I think you could have done. She's watching CT. You're scared of Garage. This guy just fell back. So now you have a second to peek along or look at it real quick and check it. Or you're actually already exposed right now, so you could have, while you're backing up from this guy. Now this would have been risky because if he was here earlier, he would have killed you quicker. Yeah. Yeah, you could have just like sprinted back into the corner, so you wouldn't have been exposed from that guy. Yeah, he did miss. Or you could have flashed corner or whatever. Keep feet back in. This is good. And so got a little unlucky here with this. This was the right idea for what your situation was. I'm trying to think of a general better post plant you could have taken. So far, we just see post plants, which is kind of lame. But it's fine. It's part of it. Yeah, and so I think if you would have saved this ability, you could have used it to block off that long guy, for example, and then maybe taken a 1v1 fight with the. See what else happened. Yeah, like if you mollied this instead of use your wall, hypothetical, whatever. Your ability usage is up to you. You'll get used to using your stuff better soon. Yeah, and so yeah, if you'd have mollied that, you would have gotten the same result. As walling it right there. You would have had your wall here. You could have thrown your wall up and distracted this guy. And as your wall was up, you could have taken a 1v1 fight with this. You see this question mark area, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have taken the fight with this guy who would have either peeked light side or left side. Now you were low health. and you're just kind of in a bad spot in general. But this would have been better than you know, just swinging into this guy, because yes, you got unlucky because he headshotted you while blind, but you're also low health, and that's like what his goal is gonna do. You know, if you I mean, but if you were Brimstone, you get blinded, you're just gonna spray and hope something happens, right? So, I don't know. This round was weird. It's kind of hard to say exactly what went wrong. I mean, there's a lot, but I think, like I said, you could have picked a few better spots, because this corner is really bad. It's really scary because if they come out garage, like your reaction time to them is like that's like your only consistent angle you can watch in CT, because it's just, I don't know, it's just gets scary to watch everything. So I think maybe sight would have been better. That would have been a decent angle because you're only exposed from garage instead of both CT and garage. Um, and so you could have played off of that guy rushing through with this. You could have killed him really easy because he probably would have just been a clown and ran straight through. And then you would have been safe from everywhere else. You wouldn't have had to worry about garage or CT or long or CT, excuse me. But yeah, post plants are looking a little funky right now, but hopefully this is like kind of making sense. A
Got
lot
it.
of post plants is like I can tell you exactly where to stand where, like at all times, but there's gonna come a time where like you're gonna eventually have to figure it out yourself. So I'm trying to more so tell you not exactly where to stand, but get you thinking about why you're standing in a spot. So
Okay.
hopefully that made sense. I was like right there, I was telling you maybe you should use your ability here, or like see what your teammates are watching, whatever. Because if you do these things, if you think about these things, your post plants will become better over time very quickly.
I see. Wait, I'm gonna switch my computer really quick.
Okay, you're good. Hello.
Test.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it works.
All right. Good. 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 Can you see?
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. All right. Next round. Let's see. I want to see some. Your team's just blasted up in there. You actually killed him, actually. Yeah, you can flash through your wall, right?
Yeah, I was waiting it out. That
Okay,
was
okay.
bad.
No, I was letting you know. It wasn't necessarily bad there, but yeah, and this is a similar example, I think. Did you? Yeah, so you know Brimstone's mid, and your Sage is watching this angle, and so how can you prevent giving this Brimstone a 1v1 fight? Yeah, not probably not Beak here. So you could have either walked up against this wall, or even better, walked back and then mollied it. Molly it while you're back here, so you can do it safely, and you wouldn't be exposed to this guy. Or like I said, because you were already this far up, go ahead and walk this way. It wouldn't make too much of a difference because your Sage is right behind you. And then she could have peeked directly off of what happens, and so might have lit. Yeah. So yeah, that's what you could have done here. You see why this peek's bad though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, this is gonna take a while because you're gonna have to get used to looking at your mini map in between these really like tense situations. But if you would have glanced, and not even really, you would have you knew he was mid, and so yeah, just think about like it's kind of hard to say. Think about how he can win, or like what would Brimstone do in this situation, because that's gonna get you thinking probably about too much. But just think, how can you lose this? And the short answer is I could lose this by not peeking with my teammate. And at the end of the day, your teammates aren't gonna know better to peek with you or whatever, and so just play around them. Even just play whatever they peek. Just hide here, wait and see what she does. You could have literally hid. I think, yeah, you probably could have just sat right up against this sight wall because she was coming around, and she's just gonna wide swing this guy. And as she does, you swing out and you can just blast him. Um, so yeah, hopefully this makes sense why this was bad.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, gotcha. Pick this up. We're on round 4. I want to get some more entry stuff. That way I can help you out with your crosshair placement. Of course, we'll see it on CT side, so it's fine. Good. Now you have full vision. Now you know exactly where they are. Happens. All right. Wait, before we even watch, how can you win this fight?
Pick one. I know one's like tunnel connector, and I know one's long. So take the 1v1.
Okay. Yes.
And then I lost the 1v1.
Yeah. Well, don't take the 1v1 with no abilities, right? Play it smart. So the one thing this guy now, another thing is you gotta think about is obviously the way they win this round is for them to take a 2v1, of course, but they didn't do that. Another way for them to win this round is for you to dry peek him. You have full utility here. You could have done anything. You could have mollied him deep. You could have walled. Whatever. You know you can curve your wall, right? You done that?
Yeah.
Yeah. You could have curved your wall. You could have flashed him. Whatever. And so because it's better for you to take a fight against a blind enemy than to take one against that just straight up sees you. And so whenever you're in a situation where you don't have full utility, then you're in a really weird spot. Also, keep in mind he has to come to you, so you don't necessarily want to peek into him here unless you use your abilities. So yeah, make sure whenever you can use your abilities, and you could have easily. I don't know if you would have necessarily won this because I don't actually know where the other person was. I think it was CT. But yeah, you could have easily have at least gotten a better fight with the guy. Yeah, she was CT. So you could have walled him off and then like flashed around the corner CT. Let me see whenever you noticed.
I noticed immediately. Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to see I'm trying to see when Cypher ulted. I'm so curious about that. I guess they could have moved by that point. So that's yeah. So she was garage or she was CT. So she either CT garage is walled off. So the only places she can go is CT or long, right? And so
Yeah.
she probably, if you wall off long, it would be a good bet to like flash around this box right here to either side, preferably this left side, right here, that little side box or whatever, because you could just it's likely that she'll be there. Because if she was long, she would have been here by now, and she probably would have seen her with the brimstone. Or worst case scenario, you wall off both players long, you flash CT, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, she's not here, and then you just now you know they're both long, and you can play off of that. You can then after that you can molly it, you can double flash it, whatever. Um, but yeah, you had the right idea, kinda, by wanting to challenge this guy on a 1v1 instead of a 2v1. You just didn't do it properly. Um, so hopefully that makes sense to you.
Yes, it does.
I want to skip past post plant stuff. I want to get some real. I'm going to start skipping past that. I want to see some entry stuff because that's what's more important. Did I skip around or no?
Yeah, you did.
Did I?
No, you skipped by. That's why. That's what I meant.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. This is technically a bad peak because he was a better player. You would be dead here. Huh? Okay, perfect. Thank you. I got you. My mom just brought me food. Sick. Anyways.
Nice.
Yeah. So if this was a better player, you would be dead here because you would have gotten blasted by this point. So make sure when you clear an angle, you clear it with intentions. So you can either flash it. Now, obviously, flashing here is a little scary because you don't want to waste an ability on a wide angle or whatever. But yeah, make sure you're like prepared because I feel like you weren't necessarily. You just flicked to her. You just kind of cleared it. And yeah, wait, did your sage go with you?
No.
Didn't. Okay. Yeah, like I said, just be careful when you clear these angles. Even if you don't flash it, maybe clear it from further back so it gives her less time to react to you or whatever the case may be. Kind of a weird example. We'll probably see a better example of it later on, so it'll make more sense. So. Oof, bad diving.
Could I have prevented that, or is that just unlucky?
Maybe if you thought about it in the back of your head. It's kind of the one thing I'll say is that you do know, like you guys have pushed C like most every round. So if you were on TT side and the enemy had pushed C every round, you'd probably start walking through A, right? And
Yeah,
so
that's true.
that's something you could have thought about. Because at this point, especially since you guys still hadn't shown any presence towards A, you might have walked through as the enemy. And so one thing you could have done here is, like I said, kind of play around your teammates. Just kind of bait the sage. It's like, you guys, if you want to get into garage, let her take the fight and just watch your back. And yeah, maybe it's kind of a weird spot. Like I said, maybe just run in there a little quicker. But yeah, not you really couldn't have prevented this, but that's just like some ideas. Um, you just kind of yeah, it's just a little unlucky. It's not really unlucky, but like you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I got you.
You guys just popping everybody. Oh God, he's 17-1. I guarantee he walks through the smoke. Or the brimstone does. Yep, there he is. That's breach. Never mind. Good, you're entering. Bad. Yeah, I think you could have saved this. I mean, we'll see what happens. Okay, yeah, let's see what happens here. Yeah, this is a similar situation. Um, you playing here, it makes it impossible. Now, this is if he comes short, this is decent because he'll be kind of caught off guard of how close you are. You can't bank on that. So you need to be able to play with your teammate and take a 1v1 fight. So maybe play like in this corner actually is pretty decent. This back sight corner because he comes up long, it's an easy fight. They can't see you CT instantly without you hearing them or walking out. Heaven can't see you. And the only places you can be seen from is corner and sight. Or I mean corner. What am I saying? Short and long. Sorry. And so that would have allowed you to potentially take a better fight and help out your jet. Um, yeah. Oh, he just free fired you. That's sad. Now you just play time. This is an example of where you play time. You know he has to defuse, right? The only way he wins without is to defuse. There's really no need to peek here. You could have hugged this left wall and either waited for him or even hit a little bit, like back in this cubby, and play off of what you hear. And what you could have done is literally what I would have done is hug this left wall right here. Wait until you hear him defuse and then flash it because he's probably not gonna. Time is. Yeah, the it hasn't been there for very long. There, like the bomb has still had a little bit of time on it, so he's probably not gonna stick it, right? So yeah, that's what I would have done. Hug this left wall, wait for him to tap the bomb, and then flash, and you can smack him. Or you know, just be wary of the fact that he can peek you if he has vision of you here. Or like I said, as he kills your jet, you could have maybe flashed now. I don't know. Maybe you would have died for that. Maybe. Okay, yeah. So yeah, does this make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So yeah, very similar thing of just playing around your teammates even if they make the wrong ideas. Because you being down short here, you couldn't have helped him at all. And so that's kind of why you lost this round. So yeah. Let me try and find one entry round. A little rough. As far as like this is so many like it's good that we're talking about this because post plant's huge. Don't get me wrong, but like you're asking about basics and fundamentals and like there's not much that we can address right now. Cross replacement, yeah, but you die from.
Left side.
Yeah, this is a little more map awareness too. That's the one angle not covered, so that's just the one angle you should be wary of. Because she just wasn't here yet. So, yeah. Same thing. Kind of think about where can I die from. Whenever you're in a post play, that's one of the biggest things you can just cross your mind. Like, where can I die from? Um, and if you would have thought that, you'd have been like, wait a minute, he can come from A, and you might have lived here. So yeah, get through this. Let's get some real rounds going. Yeah, they're based on what I'm seeing, they're one good player plays. That's okay. That's not a bad Molly actually. They're one good player plays A, so just avoid that. This is fine. All right, let's see.
I should have flashed, huh? When I
Uh, yeah, same
like
thing.
realizing it was the breach.
So you either should have. Let me see if he shows on the map at all. Yeah, so you know he ulted from in there, or whatever. Brimstone's now dead. Now you can't help. This is the same. Yeah, same thing we're seeing. You can't help your Cypher here, and you know he's backside, so he wants to take this fight. So you could have probably pushed up site because he can't go this way because it's walled off. You could have probably pushed up to site box, like right where the bomb's planted. Even if this guy dies, you can instantly flash. Yeah, you should have flashed right here. This would have been good. And then either taken control of the angle because now he wants to peek into you, or you could have like walled it or whatever. Yes, I think flashing here would have been good. Because he would have not either not expected it, or you would have just had control of the area for the time, and then you could have walled or whatever. So yeah, it's very similar thing we're seeing a lot of post plants is like even if your teammates are taking bad fights, which like I don't even know if they are. I'm not really paying attention, but even if they are, like you can always be there to help them. You can always be there to assist with those bad fights. And you guys, if you were there with Cypher, you would have flashed right after he died. You could have probably gotten the kill. So yeah, same thing. Yeah, like this is a very similar thing. You know, they've pushed A, both of them, like most every round, or at least the Brimstone has. So you should partially expect them to be there. Maybe not to blast the smoke like that. I was a little interesting. Yeah, hope that makes sense. Okay, I think we'll just skip the rest of T side, just because it's a lot of the similar things. So kind of hard to talk about T side fundamentals because of what happened, but it's actually good that we got to post plans because that is really big, and you can see how a lot of these rounds you could have won if you had positioned stuff a little better. I'm assuming. I mean, that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, sure, you could. There's a lot of other things that could have happened. Like your teammates could not have like been bad, but you know, you're in bronze silver. Like you can't expect anything better, and that's why like you can literally just bait these players essentially, and not even bait them. Like you just play with them. Oh, that was sad. They shot you, nobody else.
Yeah, I tilted
Uh,
off the floor off of this.
yeah, but the thing is, this actually isn't bad, by the way, because what happens here is your raise pushes up, you die, and she trades you. Uh, yeah, she trades you. So this is actually good. You actually technically, okay, not really. This is not necessarily correct, but you technically did your job as an entry here. As in, you ran in, you got the info, you died, and your teammates killed after that. So this is fine actually. Theoretically, this isn't bad. Now because it's low elo and you can't trust your teammates, it's bad. But you technically did your job. So theoretically, not the worst thing in the world that this happened. And yeah, your team got sight and they won the round. Um, Now, you just gotta, like I said, a little unlucky, but, you know, you see what I'm saying. Oh, this is risky. Wait, let's see what you guys do. Alright, this is fine. Careful on over rotations, by the way. I never mind, I used to bomb. Y'all have bomb down. But this is good you're clearing these angles. Okay, that's fine. You had the right idea. Just make sure whenever you throw an ability, you do it safely. Why is it adjusting volume?
Was that genuinely timing, or could I have done it better?
It was timing, but you could have prevented timing by throwing it from back here instead
Oh,
of throwing it
okay.
in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, because if you threw it from back there, he would have not ran through it. Well, he didn't run through it. Yeah, well, he wouldn't have actually run through it because you would have thrown it earlier, and you could have been safe. So even if he did run through as you threw it, you would have had cover to fall back. So yeah, you just pushed up a little bit. Also timing, but yeah. So what you could do here is, like I said, throw it from further back. You probably would have heard the tick. You probably would have heard the damage tick of it. Because he would have been inside of it as you threw it from like back here. And then you could have played off of that. You could have been like, yo, he's garage. And what you could have done is wait for him to, because he's either gonna go out garage, see sight, or come out this way, right? And so once you
Yeah.
have that vision, you wait for him to take fights with your teammates and you peek accordingly. So you could have held this back angle, like behind this sight box, or like I was saying, where you would have thrown the molly safely, and you could have peeked as he went to shoot your teammates. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes, very, very similar situation to taking 1v1 fights. Because yeah, she could have lost this fight. Thank God she killed her or him. But you all three took you took three 1v1s together. Obviously yours is a little more unlucky, but you see how you could have prevented it and how you could have adjusted off of it. So it's fine. Bomb, that's good. Um,
I should have hid because it got revealed. I feel like.
yes, and you also have this gun. It's very good close, and you just took a long range fight. You either should have, if once you fall back to CT like this, just go ahead and give it up. You could have mollied this. So what I would have done is I'd have probably hit behind sight box, shot the thing, or just let it go by, whatever, and then mollied right over here. So that would have prevented their push, and you could have helped your jet out. Because what would have happened by then is this player would have been here, but the brimstone wouldn't have been. You could have that guy sucked, the cringe guy. You would have killed him. But the only reason you die is because you actually didn't take damage from this guy. But you would have caught him off guard because you would have been behind bomb site. And this is like I'm just trying to give you like my thought process right now because we're seeing a lot of like on-site fights, and I'm trying to just make you think like how can I like have won this. You just fell back. You took a long range fight with a gun that's close range, and so yeah, you could have, like I said, mollied this, prevented them from pushing as quick, and helped your jet out. Is the end all? Is this clip? Is the easy way to say it? Because she would have killed those two, and you'd still be alive, or you would have killed the what's his name, the breach. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like I said, a little specific there, but you see where I'm thinking. You see like my thought process a little bit of what I'm like saying to do, and how you should be at least thinking through these things. And the good thing is, with what I'm telling you now, of how you can play around your teammates, you can actually record your games and go watch post plants and stuff like that, and like fights on site, and just play accordingly. See what's going on. Be like, okay, I didn't peek with my teammate here, or I could have mollied this off or whatever. And this is stuff you can actually. This stuff's easy to like train on your own, which is nice. Based on like how I'm relaying the information. All right. Anyways. That's up to you if you want to do it. Once she walls, I think you should actually rotate here.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
because
Yeah, because it counts as a person.
essentially, and the thing is, playing on what I've noticed, I don't know if it's just because I play at higher MMR, but A is like never taken. People only go C and A and B. They always go this side of the map. I mean, A is taken. Don't get me wrong, but it's more. I feel like it's more common for them to go this way. So on this map, you have to play one on site somewhere. So I would say that would be A, especially because you have a stage here. Because you can just wall this and then watch one angle. So, and then obviously you got the call to rotate. Yeah, and that would have been good here. You would have gotten here a little earlier, not a whole lot earlier, but a little bit. Okay, but once again, unlucky. That sucks. Yeah, whatever you peek with Phoenix Slash, just delay your peek. That's like, oh shoot, my headset just turned off. 1 sec.
I could have placed my crosshair better
Okay, hello?
again.
All
I'm
right,
sorry.
repeat what you just said. My headset turned off.
I could have placed my crosshair better. I feel like that's why I died.
Um,
Yeah, because looking all the way to the left.
maybe you wouldn't have reacted to that though. There's no way that she kills you pretty much instantly. What, like I said, whenever you peek with Phoenix flashes, just peek a little slowly, because it seems like you're confident she's over here, which is good because that's like one of the only few places she could be, and so because of that, her only option is to spray you down, and so you could have waited, and now you realize wait she's spraying, and then peek off of that, like molly her out, or just wait for her to stop, just like uselessly spraying or whatever. I mean, it's just at the end of the day, it's kind of unlucky, but you can still prevent it a little bit because I mean, what if you were Sage and you get blinded? Like you're just gonna, like I said, you're gonna just spray as much as you can and hope that you can kill him. That's exactly what happened. Then obviously, I don't know what happens after that. But yeah, you guys, I was about to say, you guys probably win the round. You guys are in a spot, but yeah, hopefully that makes sense. As a T side, not so much as a terrorist, because or as attacker. Sorry, I use Counter Strike terms. As attacker, it's not as important because you can just get a trade kill if you get unlucky like that. But whenever you're retaking a site like that, or something like something similar to that scenario, you don't want to be put in that bad spot. So, like I said, unlucky, but it's still kind of preventable. Yeah, once again, you should probably rotate off, like play right here or something around this area, because if they come A, you can rotate super fast. Get over here as quick as you can. I don't know. I'll let you decide this on your own because I don't know how much A is taken at low MMR, because at high MMR it's like it doesn't ever happen. So maybe you should stay here. I don't like I said, I don't actually know what they do a lot of, but
Do you mean higher SM plat or like?
more so like Immortal Diamond level.
Oh,
Plat's
okay.
not quite there because it's hard to say now because it's still beta and like the ranks are still distributing, even though it's been out for a few weeks. Like things are still like working themselves into place. But if I would have to guess, I'd probably say actual high MR would be like high diamond and an immortal on. Because below that, people are really just thinking about killing other players. They're not really thinking super like. I mean, they are. Don't get me wrong. Like at plat level, that starts to become a thing, but it's not really. If I had to guess, that starts to become a thing. Like people start thinking about like, yo, how can I, how can I safely, I don't know, take this fight or whatever the case may be. But more so right now, players just want to kill other players. That's what they want to do. They're not really thinking about like tactically and stuff. And so I don't know. That's just I guess the distribution between high and low MR. But like I said, for whatever reason, people just don't go A. Why is this round going so slow? Actually,
Wait, how did we lose that? Jesus.
let's say what happened. I think they just blew A last second.
Oh, I threw. That's why.
Yeah. Yep. Similar situation. Um, you kind of got timing, but you could have prevented that timing if you threw this from a safer spot, like back behind this wall, because you would have seen her and been like, "Oh shoot, she's right here." You would have backed up, and then you could have like flashed it or something, you know. So whenever you're using your abilities, just like think about like how you can die or whatever, especially in a spot like this. Like I just kind of see you throwing abilities like out in the middle of nowhere, and that is the key to getting killed. So yeah, make sure you throw them from a safer spot, and you can prevent a lot of this. But yeah, why were you pushing up, by the way? I'm curious what you're there.
I wanted orb really bad because I thought, okay, it's 12 seconds. We won this. There's no way we'll lose this for sure. And like, I was wrong apparently.
Yeah, the only way they win the round is by flying a site. So your best bet is to just hide, honestly. play like a spot where they don't know where you are, because what can happen is they start planting the bomb at like 8 seconds left. You can just peek, kill the bomb planter, and then you die, and you just win the round. They just won't have time to plant the bomb. But yeah, pushing's actually the one thing you wouldn't want to do there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Punish moving. It's everything. This entire game has been on-site stuff. Pretty funny actually. It's good though because this stuff is big. And I'll address crosshair placement a little bit. Well, I mean, hey, at least you didn't die from it right after. At least you did ult from behind cover, which is good. I just thrashed your team. Yeah, just guess. Yeah, I mean, it's not a whole lot you can do. You should have waited for, if I had to guess, wait for the slow, and then go from there. Because you're just walking into a slow, you just kind of die. Hold on one sec.
If your other guys here, I can go. It's all good.
No, we're fine. I'll just push it back a few. I mean, ours got pushed back a few minutes. It's not a worry. We'll jump through a little bit quicker, but it's fine. There's no rush. Yeah, I feel like at this point you're just kind of demoralized. And that's okay. It happens because this is a little not necessary to push this. Now obviously if you hear, it's not the worst thing. Also, make sure you peek with intentions. Like, be wary that, okay, I am pushing this. He could be here, because if you were, you would have just won this because you have a shot at. You just would have blasted him. But yeah, like I said, this round is a little more interesting. I think this is probably the last round's probably next, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, let's see what happens to that. You guys, 35 frags, jeez. Yeah. You just kind of in a weird spot. At that point, you're retaking against 4 players. You just kind of lose. That's okay. All right. So before we end, I do wanna, because I know you want to talk about fundamentals. Actually, it's not bad that we addressed a lot of Oh, hi. This. Can you hear me still?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Like I said, I know you want to talk about a lot of fundamentals, which we didn't really get to just because of the way your game out. And there was some stuff we could have addressed, but I think it was more important to just go ahead and run with what we had. And the reason why is because I will link you. This is a guy I coached on crosshair placement. And that basically the entire coaching session was on crosshair placement, pretty much the whole thing. And so if you go watch that, I guarantee you'll have a lot of your questions answered, because like I said, the entire, like, pretty much our entire session was just straight crosshair placement. If I can think of a spot, we talked about it. Anyways, you can just skip through it, watch what you want, but yeah, like I said, the fundamentals I think are mainly just that we talked about in the video, or not in the video, in your game, was pretty much just a lot of it had to come down with just your positioning, because that's all, that's a fundamental, and thinking about how you can take fights, because at the end of the day, a lot of those rounds I think were winnable if you would have like peaked with your teammates. And the thing is, your team, like I said, your teammates should not have peaked. Correct. That was bad. A lot of those peaks were bad, but you can still play around that. And if you play around that, you'll still win these rounds, even if they're bad. So, yeah, like I said, watch that video. I think it'd be really good for you, and because it's all crosshair placements. So, yeah. Hopefully this is useful. Hopefully it helped out a little bit.
I see. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there any other questions you have?
Where should I proceed as a player? Because I feel like I'm not really grinding efficiently. Like, I played a lot in this beta, and I'm still like hard to like bronze.
Hmm.
And I know ranks distributing and like some people are like really skilled and like still low elo, but I want to be more efficient.
So to be efficient, you have to practice efficient, essentially. So work on your aim. Um, Literally all you have to do is go into the practice mode, just put it on like the easy and the medium, and just practice shooting bots, practice your aim. You can also put it where you like eliminate the 50 and 100 bots. I don't know if you've even done that before. Yeah, just practice shooting bots, practice your sprays, practice how you fight these things. And also, you can watch pro players play and break down their gameplay. And even if you don't necessarily have to break it down perfectly, you can at least watch them and try and emulate them and think about what they're doing. So that's what I would suggest. The other big thing, this is kind of a shameless plug, is to watch all of my coaching videos that I post, which is why I post them. Because if there's if there's ever a question you have, I do a lot of sessions, but I only try to upload ones that are like new. Like this one was on ability usage and positioning. Maybe that'd be good for your position. It's on crosshair placement. It's on map awareness. There's only 3 up right now. Like, that's just all I've done. But yeah. So if I were you, if I personally were in your spot with the knowledge I have, I would work on my aim every day, because at the end of the day, this is a shooter, so that has to be big. If you want to like message me, I'm about to go start with the next client. So if you want to message me like on how to do that, I can message you some specific things you should do, like drills and stuff. So like work on your aim, and then like watch some of your gameplay back, think about what you can do better, and then I like watch some of my coaching videos that I've done with other clients, because you'll see how I talk to them, and maybe a lot of the things they do, you do too. You just haven't realized it before, and so yeah, you can go from there. That's what I would do. Like I said, if you have questions, feel free to DM me. I can always answer them, pretty much. So yeah, hopefully I was
Uh,
helpful. Any
I
other
will do.
questions?
Can I just have the routine really quick? I already have a Kovacs one, but like not really a Valorant one.
Okay. Let's see. Let me go ahead and start a call with this guy so I can get talking to him, and then I'll message
Okay,
you as we're talking about it.
got it. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Really
absolutely,
appreciate
brother. Take it easy, man.
it.